my stream. Um, but I'm up here trying to make sure that my son eats his breakfast. So let me go ahead and cut up these pancakes. And he's content right now eating a bowl of blueberries. Let me cut up these pancakes and cut up this turkey sausage. It's homemade. He loves turkey meat. He even recognizes the package when we go to the store, to the supermarket. So what I do is because he loves spices, uh, I seasoned it ahead of time, a day ahead, and had it sitting up in the refrigerator. So hold on just a second. You guys, hold on. What did I do with the knife? I know I had a knife. Oh, it's down in the sink. See. Cut this up. Mm, mm. What is that? What is that? Okay. Got that right there. Okay. Are you through with your blueberry? Do you want me to take that? Are you going to eat the rest of this or are you done? Okay. All right. So I got y'all hanging with me this morning. Go ahead and I would eat these. Let's see. It's a few blueberries left. I would eat them, but what I'm going to do is fast all day. I don't know. Yesterday, I ate so much junk that ordinarily I wouldn't eat. It was out of character for me. And so I'm going to use today to fast all day. Um, we're going to get some more stuff up out of this Airbnb. Oh my God. I'm up here making up this daggone bed. But yeah, so apparently, y'all, I guess there was a roast of Kevin Hart and Cat Williams was there. Um, honestly, I don't watch a lot of stuff anymore. I just watched, matter of fact, yesterday was my first time tuning in to two content creators in the Love and Marriage Huntsville sector. Well, one is was in the Love and Marriage Huntsville sector, and the other one is a big blogger. And when I say big blogger, this person has over 300,000 subscribers. And when I tell you, when I listen to their content, and who was the other person? I don't know. It just irritated my spirit. And my head was hurting. I would found myself being irritable. I just don't like to hear anything negative about our people. Not at all. I'm not saying that our people are saints because a lot of us are lost, but I don't want to hear nothing negative at all. And as I've stated numerous times before, I hate hearing the same content, the same information over and over. And what I mean by that is, I'm not saying, multiple bloggers talking about the same topic, but I'm talking about if you are a blogger and you are saying the same thing over and over with no resolution, honey, I can't listen to stuff like that. I cannot, especially when people call themselves children of God. That's why people get to talk about they're not Christians, they're believers, and this, that, and the other. And I've realized that you have to judge, and I've learned this a long time ago. You have to judge a person not only by what they say, but what they do. That's why I don't like to deal with anybody uh, on the telephone, like especially when it's dealing with business, medical care, or anything. I'm noticing that a lot of these companies, everybody's doing everything online. Everything's online, baby. We are 6 years post pandemic. There's no reason for nobody to be working from home. Get y'all tail up in the office. Get y'all tail up in the office because I need to see a face with the person. And see, all of you should want to get back home. Uh, I mean, get back to an office because, honey, y'all staying at home, y'all making it easy for these AI, these AI people, uh, businesses, organization, corporations to have a voice sounding human-like, reading over a script, and and you will be without a job. Stop making it easier, honey. Even when I go to the supermarket, I don't like going through the self checkout lane. I know it's faster. You can check your own stuff, but I don't even want to like going through the self checkout lane because to me, in my mind, it's taking somebody's job. So I don't even like doing it. Now, if I do go through a self checkout, rather, that's because I'm being forced. But anyway, let's get back to this Kevin Hart and Cat Williams situation. So apparently, I came across a video this morning uh, where the title it was something about black people's black chain as a punchline. Black people's unfiltered take on Kevin Hart's roast, and the name of the I don't know the name of this content creator. Uh, I don't know PR. I don't know. Truth speaks. I guess that's truth. The Eve Way Truth Speaks. That's the name of the channel. It has that little fancy script, so it was hard for me to make out the truth because hell, I thought it was saying PR. I was like, well, if that's PR, what's the other three letters? And then I looked, I said, oh, that's truth. This just happens to be a space between the R and the U. But I didn't listen to the whole video. Baby, I stopped once they said Cat Williams walked off the stage. But my thing is this. We already know Cat Williams has an issue with Kevin Hart. So I don't understand why Cat Williams was there anyway on, at the roast. And then they said Kevin and Cat shook hands to end their beef, but Cat subsequently he went ahead and departed. Look, I'ma tell you this, baby, you gotta have integrity. And one thing about me, if I don't like you, I don't like you, and I'm not going nowhere. So I question why Cat Williams was there, and it leads credence to a belief that I have now. uh, Cat was out there speaking truth to power and exposing everybody in Hollywood. Well, Cat, what were they about to expose on you, brother, that you went ahead against your better judgment and showed up at Kevin Hart's roast? What are they about to expose on you? Because I do remember the videos. I definitely remember the videos of Cat Williams back in the day when he didn't look his best and he was fighting a child. I can't remember what state it was in, but this has been many years ago when he wasn't in his best state. And had said he's never done drugs. He only smokes marijuana. So I don't know what marijuana it was, but honey, either it was a stunt double or his marijuana was laced. But back then in that video where Cat was fighting that child, and it wasn't his child, it was like he was over in the project somewhere, and one of them kids was about the same height as Cat Williams and got to fighting him. So, honey, let me tell you something. Fear is the worst thing in the world, but it is the greatest tool used to control and manipulate people. Fear will make you do things you wouldn't ordinarily want to do or would do. But because you're afraid of being exposed or afraid of losing your financial status or maybe even afraid to lose your life, you'll do whatever somebody tells you to do. I keep saying it like so many other people. Baby, tell your tea. Pull your own tea and let people know if you've done something that may have been embarrassing or something you're ashamed of. You don't want nobody else to know because they want you, people want you to be quiet. They hope you'll be quiet because your silence is compliance. And so I wouldn't be a good person to try to control. Because, honey, I'm not embarrassed of how I look. What do you want, son? What do you want? You want more? Okay. Come with me, y'all. Let's get this young man. Come on. I don't know why. No, you can have that later. I gave you enough sausages, and those we can save those for later on. You can have something to snack on. Oh, excuse me. There you go. Then you take a shower so you can get dressed. But anyway, honey, as I was stating, I'm the wrong person to try to blackmail. Because, honey, it ain't nothing in my life that I've done. Now, I might have been ashamed of it, but I'm not going to let it hold me hostage. So if you get to talking about misbehaving, this is how you look. Yeah, that's how I look. I was created in the image of my father. My hair is nappy because my hair matched my pappy's. And when I say my pappy, I'm talking about the most high God Almighty, the creator of all things. Honey, if they get to talking about misbehaving, you need to go polish your toes. Look, baby, I got other things to worry about than concerning myself about vanity going to get my toes done. Now, I will get my toes polished and whatever else, but that's not a priority right now. My priority is securing uh, permanent housing for me and my son so we're not moving from Airbnb every 30, 60, and 90 days. So no, that 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 man, yes, son, this is for later. You want this though? No, that's for later. That's a snack. You want this? No? But anyway, yeah, I'm the wrong person to blackmail. And that's why I said with reality television, a lot of it I've seen is scripted. It's not based in reality, but majority of everyone that goes on reality television is someone that has been through some sort of trauma in their childhood. And these networks, these producers, these people look for people that are damaged, that, you know, uh, poor, struggling, going through something. So you and you get acclimated to making that money, now your whole lifestyle has changed. You done went from wondering where the next meal gonna come from or your lights being off, and you got an extension cord plugged up in your neighbor's socket until you can find a way to get your lights cut back on. Yes, son. You want those? Okay, I'll peel them for you. Or do you want no? Don't do that. Or do you want apple? Okay. Yeah, y'all, welcome in the room. Go ahead and hit like or dislike. Leave a comment if you want to. Today is Free Your Mind Friday, May 15th, May 16th. Oh my God, the time is going. No, it's May 15th. May 15th, 2026. I may have the wrong date on my video. But yeah, y'all have to free your mind because you it's a lot of stuff that's going on. Yesterday on my video, I mentioned how I've been in these YouTube streets for years. For many years, I was a subscriber. I think I first came into the YouTube streets. I think it was back in 2017. But I became a content creator in 2023. So in August, it'll be 3 years. I was a content creator. I became a content creator. But my mindset has always been, because I've noticed that a lot of content creators, they'll start off real nice here on YouTube. They'll be sweet. And then after a while, they just turn wicked. I mean, something vile. And I said, it's like there's a spirit here on YouTube. But anyway, going back to me making a comment yesterday when I was giving my opinion on Love and Marriage Huntsville, I had made the comment that, there were stories out here in these Love and Marriage Huntsville sector street about multiple cast members. Uh, there were photos out here where they were showing. Now, I don't know if those are authentic photos or if it, what. Well, they had photos and stories out here in the street about Marcel Scott being arrested, Letitia being arrested. They had all kind of stuff out here. But my thing is this: own your own stuff. Don't let nobody hold nothing over your head. Just like when they had that episode on Love and Marriage Huntsville when Destiny had that game day, and so Martell, um, instead of him coming after Marceau, he attacked Tisha and got to talking about Tisha's past in college. And so Tisha stood there in it. She didn't run, she didn't cry. She said that was college. That was college. A lot of people have done things when they were younger. Hell, there's some do it, mess around and wait until they get older to do it when they should know better. But you change and you grow from it. But she claimed it right there on that show. So I'll give her credit for that. The only time I had a problem with Tisha is in that moment. That's when she should have responded back to Martell about his past, about rumors of people in the city of Huntsville, men saying that they had been with him. And I would have been okay with it. The, what I had a problem with is that she did not say it in that moment, and instead she waited until she was on Carlos King Reality with the King Messy Monday show, and then she brought it up there and mentioned it. And I said, oh, I didn't like that. I said, I don't like, outing people. Let them do it when they want to. And this is painting Tisha in a negative light. And Tisha is being set up because they know a lot of fans don't care for Tisha, and then this is just something else to paint her in a negative light. And I definitely didn't like that. But had she said it in the moment at game day, I would have been okay because it's fair game. You talking about who I done slept with, so I'm going to talk about who you slept with. That's when Tisha should have said it right then and there, not days later. But anyway, hold on just a second, you guys. Here, come on. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Grab that. Can you grab this for me? And come sit at the table. Come on. Let's go. There you go. All right. But anyway, so that's my thought on that. But we're gonna go back to this black folks hurting black people. Our pain got to be used for entertainment. They find the most broken people and put them on television in hopes you get addicted to the money, willing to sell yourself and do anything. Baby, I would rather, I'm more comfortable living with the bare minimum and being happy than selling myself short for anyone. Now, I have said it's time. I definitely need a child care provider that I trust with my son, and I wouldn't underpay them. In fact, I would pay them double more than what they would make. Cause, honey, you taking care of precious cargo, so you would get paid well. But I need to get back to work. I need to get back to being a nurse. Sometimes, you guys, I go back and forth between going back to school um, and becoming an attorney because my time in the courthouse recently, I'm seeing how when I see people that look like us, how they're being misrepresented, not being uh, fully advocated for, and even in my own experience, where people trying to shush me and not want me to say anything when hell, it looks like I know more than what the attorney know that call themselves trying to be a public defender. And so I'm like, hell, I need to go back to school so I can represent my people, especially in criminal aspect. So we definitely need more attorneys. We need more people in our community that are in positions where they can be assistance. We have those now, but a lot of those, they'll sell themselves shorts. They'll take a bribe. It's all about themselves. It's not about us. Look, the title of this video, if you saw the thumbnail, is We Are Stronger Together. I don't care. Y'all gonna have to get off of your hang-ups and talking about I don't like them and they ain't worth this and they ain't worth that. These are broken people. These are broken people. People are broken and they don't have the cognitive awareness nor the insight or judgment to to resolve conflict or understand or ask for help. They're responding the best way they know how. You and I are fortunate. Like, I'm going to use myself for example. Back in 2024, I can admit it, I was in such a state of depression that, baby, I was so afraid. Everything frightened me. For years, I've had PTSD from trauma from my past, my childhood and adulthood, where when men raised their voice, it startled me. Men coming around me, it frightened me. I cross the street. I want to be on the other side. I don't want to walk around a group of men. Hell, even if I was the only black person in a room filled with white folks, I would get nervous and I need to watch my back. I don't just don't trust them. And I got a reason not to trust them. And when I say white people, I'm including Jewish people as well. Jewish people as well, because y'all not finna get up out of here either. Because there's documented history of y'all mistreating black people as well. So anyway, I had that fear. It was real. I can honestly tell you guys that I have no fear right now at all. At all. And I've been like this now for a while. Um, I'm not letting nothing frighten me. The only person I'm afraid of is God. That's it. I'm not afraid of what man will do or can do. I've had situations where I've gone to the supermarket. I'm going to Sprouts Farmer Market the other day. And right now, my credit cards, I have new credit cards coming. Do not go to Avis. Do not go to Avis car rental. Do not use them, especially if you're in Arizona. Do not go to them, and specifically the location located at the airport, because they are defrauding and overcharging your credit card for a And so I have new credit cards coming, and I had to use my bank card at the grocery store. So when I put my debit card in there, my bank card up in there, uh, the lady then tells me there's a balance. Like I have to pay. Uh, Originally, she said the total for the food was $393. So then she tells me there's a balance. I think I think the balance was for 170 something or whatever. And I'm like, a balance? I was like, she was like, can you put your debit card back in the machine? I told her no. I said there shouldn't be no balance. I said I know there's money in this account. I definitely know that there's money in this account. And I told her cancel out the transaction. I said cancel out the transaction, and I said I'll come back in. I gotta go get some money. I said cancel out the transaction because there's a way you can cancel it out and have the receipt where all they have to do is they can scan the barcode on the receipt to ring it back up. So in the meantime, she goes ahead. She calls the manager. The gentleman comes over, and she's telling him that I had two cards, and I said no. I said the way that reads on that sign, it read my bank card as if it's an EBT card, as if it's a food stamp card. And I said, and I showed them, I said, this is from Bank of America. This is not no food stamp card. This is not no EBT card. This is a bank card. And so I tell him, I said, hold on. So something said, just give them cash. Just give them cash. So I said, let me go out to my car. Because I looked up in my bag and I was like, oh man, I must have left it in the car. And so I go to the car and I bring my wallet back in, my the money back in, and then something said, don't give them your cash. You just put $600 in that other bank account. Use that debit card to pay for this food, so you will have a there is a transaction. So I go ahead and use the debit card. So what the guy does, instead of like he didn't print off a receipt, what he did is rung up all my food. So as he's ringing up all the food, hell, when he's done ringing up everything, it's less than what the other lady told me. She told me it was 393. And I was like, well, that's way less than what she rung it up to be. And he tried to tell me it's because she didn't give me the 10 cents on the bottle for the cases of water I purchased. Now, in this bottle, that's 36 cents. That I mean, that's 36 bottles. So three cases, three cases, 1 liter bottles. That's 36 bottles. 10 cents times 36 is $3.60, baby. If the purchase was 393 on her watch, the purchase then should have rung up to be like 392 and somebody cents. But that didn't match because it was way less than that. So it was some trickery going on. I don't know what the hell be going on with these little debit card, credit card machines out here in San Diego County. But Sprouts is that's the first time that has ever happened to me, and he said he's never seen that before, and he said and so it had me looking at them like, all right, now I gotta add Sprout to the list, just like I gotta add Walmart, because Walmart does tricky stuff with your debit and credit cards as well. So I said, yeah, I'm calling my bank because I want to make sure nothing fraudulent is going on. But anyway, I say all that to say this, baby, history will always repeat itself. And honey, if you're black in America, you are paying, paying, a black tax for everything. Whatever, when we go purchase a home, They charging us extra. You go purchase a car, they want to increase the interest rate. And you go, hell, what else? Go get an oil change. Hell, they charging you for stuff that they ain't even do, and sometimes they ain't even did it. Child, it's a whole bunch of crazy stuff going on. It's a whole bunch of stuff, crazy stuff going on, and it's just unfortunate that many of us, and I used to be one of those people included, that was lost in the sauce, had blinders on, wasn't paying attention what was going on in life, and just going through the motion, going through the flow, going with the flow. But honey, I've had this time to relax and de-stress myself. If you pay attention to neighborhoods or cities where we are black people, when I say we, where we reside, or people try to, even with redlining, they're doing that with us because they usher us into areas where they want us to live. They don't want us to live in the areas or the neighborhood where it's quiet, where it's clean, where there's trees, grass, parks. It's peaceful. They don't want us living in environments like that. What they do is relegate us or usher us into areas where it's loud, it's overcrowded, it's overstimulating to you, it's dirty. They do that, and it's by on purpose. I don't care what nobody says. I sit here every day, I walk through the city, I drive through the city. I've driven from California all across the United States. Now I haven't gone up north yet. I'm going to travel like up into the far northern states like Colorado, Washington, and all of that, Utah, during the summer. We'll take a road trip and go. But for right now, I've been in California, Arizona, Texas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, and especially in the northern states, because I mean, not the northern states, but especially in the southern states are the states where there's a high population of black people residing, and it seemed like majority, each state I've driven through, and it's been an area where there are black people, they always have the areas in disarray. It's as if they feel as if we are comfortable or we deserve to live in an environment that's dirty, unkempt, limited resources, busted windows, empty, dilapidated houses in the neighborhood. You go on the other side of town in any city. Y'all can go to any state and you can see this in your city. I've even been in Missouri. I've been to the Show Me State. I was up in St. Louis. I popped up and visited a friend in St. Louis. But even that is the same. So anything where we reside, they want us in confusion and chaos. It is by design. Make no mistake. It's because this world operates off our energy. It operates off our energy. And if they can keep us in a state of stress and turmoil and chaos and confusion, we don't have time to pay attention what's going on around us at all. For example, if you look at, like here in California, hell, I believe California really is the United Nations, because nobody has ever questioned, or maybe I just never ran across anyone, whether they're black, white, Asian, whatever. But if you are a United States of America citizen, you were born and raised here, and your family lineage traces back at least, at least 100 years, and 100 years is bare minimum. I have not run across them, but has anybody ever, nobody's ever questioned why America doesn't have a national language where English is the language that people have to speak to be here in America? Why is it that various states are required to provide interpreters or pamphlets, whether it's written in alternate languages? But I'm just asking that, not out of hate, but if you go to any other country, and well, so they say, because I haven't been to any other country. The only country I've ever visited was Mexico, and the furthest I went was Tijuana. Honey, I wasn't going no further. But from my understanding, every other country of the immigrants that have come here to America, no matter whom they are, in their country, their national language is X, Y, and Z. They do have a national language. So why is it that here in America we don't have a national language, and what is the holdup? What is the resistance? I think it's not only black people under some sort of spell or in a bubble, a spell that has been passed down from generation to generation. Because you can't always believe everything that somebody tell you, especially if they're the enemy. If you see people outright mistreating you, disregarding you, and view you as less than a dog, because these folks out here, they value the life of a dog more than they do a black person. Why would you trust any information or history that they give to you to tell you who you are? Now, I know it seems like I'm going all over the place, but really I'm not. I'm starting from black people's pain being used for entertainment. It's nothing new. Why do we keep, and I ain't gonna say we because I'm not participating in it. My goal here on my channel, I'm gonna give my opinion on whether it's reality television, something I saw in the news, something I saw in person, but it's going to affect real people, our people, but I want to offer a positive solution or resolution to conflict. We've been in conflict too long. It's time for us to have peace. That's why anybody I encounter, I tell them, don't waste your time arguing with people. If you pay attention and you stand there and be still, you can see how people are purposely trying to elicit a negative reaction out of you. They are trying to provoke you to be angry and mad. Let these folks say whatever they want to say. But just let them know if they put their hands on you, you gonna put your hands and feet on them. Like, I think where I started getting irritated, I noticed like I felt irritated yesterday and I was so peaceful. I had listened to this one blogger, um, and they were talking about this man. This man, he's white appearing. I don't know what his nationality is. I don't want to know what his ethnicity is. But the man is going around doing rage baiting black folks, calling them niggers, calling them, saying that they're chimping out when they get to yelling with them. Child, they want y'all to respond negatively. I don't pay these people no mind, and I don't listen to content like that. That content like that, it doesn't do anything for my mind or my spirit. They want you upset and angry. Because no matter how you conduct yourself, whether you're peaceful, whether you're violent, the only black person that these people like is a black person, is a house shoe Negro. And what a house shoe Negro is you're comfortable. See, house shoes are comfortable. People love comfort and being soft. They know you're meek, you're malleable, and you're soft. You're not going to speak up for yourself. You're not going to advocate for yourself, and you're not going to fight back. Those are the type of black people they like, and they know it. When they see you up here wearing these wigs, you don't even love your own appearance. You're ashamed of who you are. Because if you won't, why do you need to have on a wig or these false eyelashes, or why do you need to go get surgery? That's vanity right there. You hate yourself. So folks know who to play with. They know when they see somebody that don't know who they are or love who they are, they know who to play with, and they know who not to play with. And I'm not going to allow anyone in this world to make my son feel as if he's less than, he's not a human, he's not entitled to respect, care, security, and love. I don't care what another parent will do or allow with their child, but I'm letting folks know it's not going to happen with my child, just like it's not going to happen to me. So when I come into a situation or with people and I'm communicating, I do not allow people to ascribe negative verbiage to me. For example, I went to San Marcos Sheriff Department to get a copy of Officer Deputy, I shouldn't say Officer, Deputy Haggerty's incident report from when I was arrested. A citizen arrest was placed upon me by the manager at Fairfield Marriott in San Marcos, California. So I wanted a copy of that because I shared that in my video yesterday, you guys, when I talked about how I went before the judge and the comments the judge made, you know, made my ear perk up like, what exactly was the communication, what was said, so I need to know what's in the report. So anyway, I go over to the sheriff's department to get a copy of the report. And so first I'm being told they wanted my driver's license. Okay, that's fine. They can have my driver's license. And so the lady goes to the back, and when she comes back, she has a paper for me to fill out. She said, here's a paper for you to request the information if you, but she's going to come out and talk to you. The assistant's going to come out and talk to you, and she'll let you know if you need to fill out that form. And so I asked her where was my driver's license, and she said, well, the assistant had it. I said, and what's the assistant name? So she told me the assistant name, and I said, exactly what is she the assistant of? She said office assistant, but she's worked here for a long time, so she knows everything. I said, well, why doesn't she just make a copy of my driver's license and give my driver's license back? That would make more sense, to just make a copy of the driver's license and give the original back. And she said, the lady said she didn't know. She was just a volunteer. But what I was saying, that made sense to her. That's made sense to her what I was saying. And she said, but that's the way they train them. I said, oh no, I understand. I said, what happens is, that's how they train people. And what they do is they get rid of people that have worked for a company for years just because they've gotten too old. I said, what they do is they revise these rules and policies and see if somebody's here that's older, that was here when the policies, rules, and regulations were originally created, they'll remember and can call out that, hey, that's not correct. So anyway, the lady comes back, and so she tells me, she comes up to the window, the assistant comes up to the window telling me that I couldn't get a copy of it because I'm not the victim. I said, I am the victim. I said, I was a paying customer. And so I tell her to provide me with a copy of their policy, like the regulation or the code, their policy, which states that I cannot get a copy of the incident report. So she leaves. She's gone a very long time. But honey, one thing I've learned is when people purposely try to make you wait in hopes that you'll get irritated and give up and leave, honey, don't get up and leave. You sit there, you stand there. don't you leave. Even if you're on the telephone, if you notice they'll have you on the phone for a long time, just stay on the phone. Just put it on the speakerphone while you're doing other things. Well, anyway, after an extended period of time, a detective comes out. This let me know. This you know stuff be happening that confirm exactly how I know. But anyway, I ain't gonna even say nothing about that. But a detective come out. Now, why this office assistant that has worked there for many years? Why didn't she couldn't provide me with the policy or code or anything? So anyway, Detective Sawada comes out with a post-it note, with a yellow post-it note with the government code. And all she put is government code. What government code? Is it the county? Is it San Diego County code? Is it California government code? Which government? Because a lot of people here in California that I'm running into in positions of authority, whether it is as a social worker, a case manager, somebody working for the county that is supposed to be working for the Office of Homelessness, but they don't have an office that you can come to, but they got a phone number and they want to come to you. Honey, all of that is suspicious to me. But none of them know that there are three branches of government. There's government at the federal level, government at the state level, and government at the local level, meaning your city. The mayor, council members, nobody understands that. But anyway, so I was like, asked her, could she not print it out? And why I couldn't get a copy of the incident report. And she said, because I'm not the victim. I said, I am the victim. And so I go to tell her exactly what happened, right? So then she tells me, well, yes, she hears what I'm saying. This goes back to my video yesterday when I said how the charges were conflated, how the district attorney falsely charged me with a penal code that I did not violate for trespassing. The penal code that the district attorney of San Diego charged me with, it makes it appear as if I'm at somebody's personal residence and I was arrested, refused to leave, and I was arrested, which would give credence to the fact that the manager, Kirsten, filed a citizen's arrest paperwork against me in order for Officer Deputy Haggerty and the other deputy, I forgot her name, for them to arrest me. I don't know if these folks out here in San Diego County are acclimated, and they must be. They must be acclimated to interacting with black people that do not read, aren't well versed, or they have to be because or it doesn't even have, maybe it doesn't have anything to do with being black. Maybe it's the mere fact, maybe people don't question them or ask questions, so they just believe them based off the fact of their title and whom they are. But I'm going to question everything, honey, that's not logical and doesn't make sense. So that goes back to that. So anyway, I have the form and I'm filling it out. I'm gonna take it down there because I want a copy of the incident report. So she then tells me, Detective Sawada then tells me that the report will be redacted. I won't be entitled to everything. The incident report will be redacted. Why would an incident report be redacted unless y'all put false info? Unless Deputy Haggerty or someone put offer false information in the report, and you don't want nobody to see what you done lied about. Because I've had copies of incident reports in the past, and nothing has ever been redacted. These people are up here lying, and what I told Detective Sawada yesterday, I chuckled first before I commented. I said it's interesting. I said, boy, I tell you, I said for a black person here in San Diego County. Now I didn't say that part, but I did say. Now this is how but I did tell her this. I did say this. This is how black people rights get violated or they're locked up because when they're innocent and try to advocate for themselves to obtain information, then the information is redacted or they're given the runaround in order to receive the information. And I said, fortunately, I said, because many may not know how to effectively articulate their stance. She said, I can see you're frustrated. I looked at her and I told her, I, I put up my hand like, stop. And I told her, I said, no, don't do that. I said, do not apply negative terms to me because I am not frustrated. You have not seen me frustrated. What I am doing is articulating effectively my opinion based on my experience. And she said, okay. So I asked her, did she have an address for the place? Because she wanted to give me a phone number for records for San Diego County Sheriff Records Department of who to call in order to get a copy of the incident report. And then, even with that, it's supposed to take like 30 to 90 days, at least 30 days before you can even get a copy of it. And I'm saying to myself, I said, this ain't nothing but they're just playing games, kicking the can down the road, hoping I'll give up. I won. Go ahead and proceed with obtaining the information. But that might have been me, 16 months ago, because I didn't like dealing with conflict or anything. I just let it go. It's not worth it. But now I'm at a point in which I have to advocate and proceed forward with things, especially when it's an injustice towards me, because I know by advocating for me and pushing forward, it's going to help other black people, because if it happened to me, I know it happened to other black people. And the problem is, I won't say a problem, it's not a problem, but what happens in the black community, we don't share what happens, what goes on with us, so that we can provide education to others, so that way they can advocate for themselves. Because, honey, a lot of times all you need to do is go to a law library, and I want to go to a law library so bad so that I can read, but I cannot do that with my son, because my son's not going to sit still for a long period of time, and I don't know, they may not even allow him in the law library with me, but I need to be reading these criminal codes and so forth, because if that public defender was smart, yeah, I'm saying it, if he was smart, that whole case would have been thrown out. It wouldn't have been under no, what was it, Penal Code 13, in the interest of justice. I mean, yeah, we could use it in the interest of justice, but it could have been thrown out, and I wanted it for the record that the district attorney charged me with the wrong penal code when they had the citation right there in their evidence to show which exactly citation I was cited for. So, baby, these crafty counselors, these crooked people in high places, and I know how easy it is to have judgments ruled in another person's favor based on who you know and who you are. Remember, who you know and who you are can turn judgments and ruling in your favor. And if you are a person that lacks the financial resources, you don't have the political connection, you don't have any, family member or a friend working in the courthouses, or in these places where you're running against, finding yourself running into a roadblock, it's because it's all by design. And as I'm looking, baby, there are people in these positions of authority that do not look black. And I'm not even going to say if they were black it would be any better, because a lot of black people in California, baby, they're brainwashed. Baby, they think everything is peachy cream. And I know that from experience, because once upon a time, I was that black person. I was that black person that didn't see racism. I didn't see anything wrong at all. It wasn't until I got my wake up call. And what year was that? I got a wake up call in 2000, 2002 is when I got my wake up call to let me know, yeah, baby, racism does exist. Now, I wasn't in California at the time I got my wake up call. I was in Evansville, Indiana when I got my wake up call. Now, I first started noticing a shift when I was in Chicago. Uh, but once I got to Evansville, Indiana, baby, that's when I got my wake up call. And so ever since I had that wake up call, when I came back to California, I could clearly see, I could see the racism there and the mistreatment. And sometimes, you know, I used to say I don't like that feeling, where I can see and notice people intentions. Like, I haven't smiled like I used to, but if you think about it, it's performative. You know, cheery and chipper and smiling. Ain't nobody got time to be chipper, cheery, and smiling. If they're stressed out and they know that they're being mistreated, you can't smile. But I'm not saying there's a difference between not smiling and being unhappy. Just because a person is not smiling doesn't mean that they're unhappy, because I'm very happy. Um, I definitely notice an improvement in me. But I know one thing: I'm not about to be smiling to make nobody to feel comfortable. I'm not about to go out of my way to be smiling to make you feel comfortable when your sole intent is to make me feel and be uncomfortable. Cause honey, yeah, I'm gonna talk about my life to shine in awareness, and I don't know if you're black. Oh, I need to go do my research and find that man that's been suing all of these black organizations or hospitals that are providing programs and services geared to black women, black men, and black children, stating that the policy is discriminatory to other people. Well, I can tell you about some policies that are discriminatory to black people here in San Diego County. Hell, you can be an immigrant, you can be a felon. You ain't even got to be documented, and you can go to college for free in San Diego County for 2 years. You can go to college for free. And then even when you go to the university, they have special funding that the state of California funds so that they can go to school. So everybody getting all this free service, but black folks can't get nothing. That's why I tell you, black folks, and if you notice, I stopped putting hashtag reparations. Baby, them folks got our money. They have our money. And for you black people working your fingers to the bone, especially in the South, because they purposely underpay you and mistreat you. Because one thing black folks gonna do, especially if they want fancy clothes and a car and a house and whatever else, black folks will work 2 and 3 jobs to make sure they are able to have those material items. Honey, they love the fact that you working yourself to the bone. Because, baby, your tax dollars is going to support other people that are not black, that are not you. Baby, it is taxation without representation. Now, I know I said I'm going back to work. I am. I'm going back to work to be a registered nurse, because I am. And that's what I love to do, because there are people that deserve to see real children of God, not these deceivers or pretenders that say they're a child of God and they out here acting a mess and a fool, talking crazy, cursing, purposely trying to find conflict and strife without resolution to problem. And child, look, I'm a valuable asset to the medical community. My knowledge, my skills, my excellent bedside manner, customer service, baby, I am sorely missed in the medical community. Because, honey, I have come across multiple doctors
Did you hear that? Doctors, DOCTORS, that don't know a daggone thing, baby. I don't know where they got their degree, and a lot of these nurses don't know nothing either. I remember one time this man came to me. He was an intern over at the family shelter. I don't know what type of intern he was, if he was psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever he was. But he came to talk to me. So I was sharing a little bit of how I had started off as a certified nurse assistant because I advisor, even with that, was racist. I got accepted into the nursing program, and the college advisor talked me out of it to become a CNA. But I was telling them how that, and I had started off was a CNA for, I think I was a CNA for 2 years. Then I became a licensed practical nurse, but in California it's called a licensed vocational nurse. I was that for 5 years, and then now I've been a registered nurse. It'll be 16 years in July. But I was telling him how, when I was a CNA, the advisor told me it would be hard work, but it was easy to me. The man kept telling me it was easy for me. And I'm looking at him and I'm saying, no, it was easy. I said, what? He said, no, it was easy for you. I said, but what could be hard about bathing people and wiping their butt or feeding them or dressing them? What's hard about that? He said, it's easy to you. I stopped talking because at that point I said, what the hell is this man talking about? That those are simple things to do. Who the hell is becoming certified nurse assistants and it's hard to wipe your butt, wipe a face, or put some clothes on? How hard is that? So I don't know. Child, I don't know. Hell, everybody know how to bathe. Well, I shouldn't say that, but most people know how to bathe, and they definitely know how to eat. So how hard is it to feed somebody? How hard is it to feed somebody? Child, I don't even know. But I tell you what, it's something tricky going on. But I am gonna get back to work. But I'm going back and forth in between either going to, I have inquired about law school to become an attorney because when I was younger, I did want to be an attorney, and I've represented myself in a couple of cases in which I was victorious. And I think we need more people that are involved in the criminal justice systems as lawyers, whether you're a police officer, whatever. Are people that are in these positions. You need to be in those positions to help your people, not hurt your people. That's the key word, to help your people, not hurt your people. Because when I look in these other communities, these people are helping their people. They're not hurting them. They're not treating them like dogs or animals. They're not doing that. But they're treating us the same, and you can't get mad at them. Hell, if you ain't gonna get mad at us, because you're doing it to your own people. That's why you're not blessed. The Bible says, hurt not thy anointed, and do no harm to my prophets. So if we are firstborn and we are God's children, we are blessed. We are not supposed to be harming one another. We gotta heal each other. Hell, and don't give up and turn your back. Don't turn your back. If you gotta step away and clear yourself, you step away. But don't give up, baby, because we all we got. And if you look, especially in the state of California, baby, any state, look at all these other states outside of the South, baby, the black folks is dwindling, dwindling. And if you are in any southern state, if I were you, I would come on out here to California. Don't let them gas you up and tell you, oh, the price is too high. Hell, the price is high where you living. But you ain't got no rights as a worker, as an employee. Bring your tail up out here. We can carve out us a small face, a small place for us like-minded black folks that want to do positive things and uplift and protect our children so they're not under this system of indoctrination and control and manipulation. Yeah. If an adult can be manipulated and controlled, and their decisions and opinions of whom they are and how they show up in the world can be manipulated and changed based off the opinions of others or a celebrity or a content creator, hell, a child don't stand a chance. So y'all want to talk about these children got a right to make their own decisions? No, they don't. A child's mind is malleable. They are easily influenced. And especially if you get a child that comes from a broken home, or a child that's coming from a home where it's one parent, hell, it could be two parents, but they're both working and try to make ends meet. And if the parent has an addiction or untreated mental illness, sometimes it ain't mental illness, sometimes it's an unhealthy diet or no exposure to the sun. Hell, if you're stressed out, hell, I've noticed that if I eat sweet, something sweet, and that would include like carbohydrates like rice or tortillas, bread or something, pancakes, because once it's digested and break down in your system, it becomes glucose. And glucose is just the intellectual name for sugar. It causes irritation, not only in adults but in kids too. That's why you have kids that have these behaviors. It's that sugar, and you got to be careful of the dyes as well. So, honey, I'm not judging. I understand. I've been through it. I've been there. I remember when I didn't have a job with my eldest daughter, I would cook home cooked meals all the time, kept the apartment clean, do her hair, and I would do people hair on the side to earn money. Then I wanted to work because I was like, I don't like being on welfare. I don't like how people talk to me and look down at me. And when I say people, I'm talking about the people at the welfare department. So I ended up getting a job and I never turned back. I worked. And so I wanted my children to, you know, well, at the time I just had my daughter, but then I was working. Then I met my husband. Then I had my second child, and we both were working. And my husband at the time, he was in the military, so I was raising, the kids by myself. So, um, man, I'm telling you, I have an opportunity to sit and I can see how people are overworked and stressed out. And even though I'm talking about black people, what I've noticed in San Diego County is even the wages are depressed here because this is not weird, you guys. It's just something that I've noticed. Like, it's like a replacement. They're trying to erase us to replace us. I've said that before, maybe a year or two ago. They're trying to erase us to replace us because it's nothing new. It's been done. Even with now they're trying to change uh, the creation of, not the creation of man, but the evolution of man. For many years, for many years, they have always taught us that all life began on the continent of Africa. The first bones to ever be discovered was of an African woman named Lucy. So if all the people started in Africa, a very hot climate, and then people started migrating to various regions across the across the world, it is safe to say that there was black people everywhere, everywhere, even here in America, on Turtle Island. So now scientists have are coming up. They're saying that there were three groups of people. They always try to say there was Homo sapiens. And look, child, let me tell you this, baby. The problem is we are reading, we are using their words, their evidence to prove how black people are the original people. We are firstborn. We are firstborn. Now they're coming up with a new way to say there's a third group of people that were created. Y'all need to quit playing. Stop letting these people play in your face and tell them, look, as a child of God, we love all people. We not may not agree with your lifestyle, but we respect you. And you know what? And I'm not gonna say we, because there are some children of God that are steadfast. They are steadfast in their beliefs. So I better just say me. I respect everybody's uh, decisions on how they live their life, on how they live their life. I don't, I may not agree with it, but that's not my life. I don't have to lay with you. But I love you. I don't hate you, and I don't want any harm to come to you, because I believe God created all people. Now, God has His laws that we are supposed to follow. Now, based on those 10 laws, I didn't see in the law. Now, I don't agree with this, but hey, it's not mentioning God's law that there was it's forbidden for same-sex relationships. I think if the person's in a committed relationship, that's okay. But if you around here being a hoe, sleeping with everybody, or prostitution, or doing something vulgar, porno, and all that stuff, now, honey, that's an abomination. Now, I know the Bible does speak on men lying with men and women lying with women is an abomination. Now, it says that in the Bible, but as it pertains to God's law, because I follow God's law, not man law, it doesn't mention anything in there about same-sex relationships. Now, however, comma, MsBehaven believes that a relationship is supposed to be between a man and a woman for procreation, because how can we continue life without a man and a woman? But that's just my opinion. But I respect people's right to autonomy in their choices, just like I want people to respect my right to my opinion in my autonomy. Don't think you coming to bully me or force me to agree with something, or label me as homophobic or transphobic or none of that stuff. Don't come over here labeling me. And I could care less. Look, if I offended you, you're offended. I'm more concerned with offending my heavenly Father than I am with offending man. Because all of y'all need to do right. And when I say all of y'all, I'm talking about heterosexuals, homosexuals. All of y'all need to do right and get right, baby. We need to be kind to one another, help those less fortunate. But honey, you ain't a sibling of mine anyway if you idolize man, money, and material items, or vanity. Mm. Now, I didn't see anywhere where vanity it was a sin, but it is mentioned in the Bible, in multiple spots, where vanity is definitely frowned upon. Now, I ain't a student in the Bible. I read the Bible, but I feel like people, your spirit, your character, and that's nothing that nobody has to teach you. Kindness is inherent. Love, peace, faithfulness, joy, patience, goodness, gentleness, and self control. Baby, all of that is an inherent quality that a child of God has. And children of God, how you'll know if they're a child of God or not, when there's conflict, like arguments or disagreement, a child of God prefers peace and will try to find a peaceful resolution so that there's peace instead of waddling in strife. Ain't nothing cute about that. And to all you self-proclaimed children of God that are on these reality shows, baby, honey, they're making a mockery. They're making a mockery of God and Jesus. Yes, they are. And the biggest hypocrite making a mockery out of it is Phaedra Parks on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Her mother was a reverend, a pastor, I believe, when Phaedra first came on. Now Phaedra up here looking a hot mess. She's blending in as well. And Phaedra is definitely sinning because somebody that knows the Bible, you know the words in the Bible, and but you going against it, you are purposely sinning. Then she had the audacity on that last episode to be in that confessional. Was it the last episode or whatever it was when Aiden was driving and she sat up in that confessional talking about Aiden drives for his father Apollo because Apollo's a drunk, and they asked Phaedra, does is Aiden her designated driver? And she said, "Oh no, I'm not. I'm not a drunk. I'm not a drunk. I'm a guy. I'm a woman of God or whatever she said." Stop making a mockery of our religion. Y'all don't play with Jewish people. Y'all don't play with them and their religion. So stop playing with Christians. Stop playing with God. Stop playing with God. Stop playing with Jesus Christ. All right? Do me that favor. And y'all need to stop being quiet. Y'all better speak up and stop letting these people play on our head tops. You better speak truth to power, and you better call out corruption and injustice when you see it. Yeah, I'll tickle your ear. In the words of Real Talk with Lady D, I'll tickle your ear on some days, but I'm always going to give you a dose of realness. So that's our our episode for the day, and that's what I was politicking on. So I want y'all to have a beautiful Friday. Today is May 15th, 2026. Baby, I want you to be good to yourself, be patient, be kind, be a blessing to others, and have a beautifully blessed day. Subscribe if you have not subscribed. Like the video. Dislike the video if you disagree with my opinion. And leave a comment and we can have a respectful debate. I'm not going to argue with you, but I respect everyone's opinion. Because if you think you're going to come up over here talking crazy to me and think I'm going to argue back with you, no, baby. I'm not going to argue back with you, but what I will, I'll die along with you. And I'll just tell you, God bless you. God bless you. But I ain't about to be arguing with you, okay? So, if you're a member of the replay gang, I want to say thank you. I appreciate your support because I'm a little vlogger. My presence felt like a big dog. Queen stands alone. I ain't scared of none of y'all trying to line me up or see the real from the fake. Keep your head on a swivel in these YouTube streets. You hoses lollygagging. You know that Haven got the clout. Chicago, California, now repping for the South. Go sit your tail down. You better play with your mammy before I get a switch and beat your tail like I'm Granny. I'm a big dog. You feel that Aries synergy? Sending out love to the YouTube community. Subscribe, like, share, throw your dubs in the air. Too black, too strong. And I love my nappy hair because I'm a regulator. All right, y'all. Get on out there, regulate your day, regulate your mind, regulate your body. Get out in that sun. Get out in that sun. Don't let these people steal your joy, baby. The devil is a liar. The devil is a thief. The devil is a trickster. And he don't dwell within me. All right, y'all. Bye bye.